you've got Chelsea, right? And it is a project. Now, whether you agree with it or not, it is something they're doing. And they want a project manager. So do you not have to give him time? A bit like how Arsenal did with Arteta.
No, this project has failed on every conceivable level. It's a failing project. Everything about it has failed. Nothing has come good. You think about what we've done, you think about our transfer strategy, you think about the players that we've brought into the club, you think about the players that have left the club. There was some sort of symmetry. You know when we got beat by Newcastle last week? There was a real symmetry to Chelsea getting battered at home to Newcastle, losing to Newcastle for the first time in 14 years, and two standout players being Lewis Hall and Tino Livramento, who were flipped by this ownership.
Yeah.
It shows you the acumen, it shows you the reasoning of the club. You're selling good players and you're buying in average players because selling good players who have come through the youth academy demonstrate pure profit. And everything about Chelsea.
But if he gets Champions League, right, say you win today, right, we're at 6-26. You know, Liverpool lost, right, we're going to get to Liverpool fans. If you get Champions League football this season, is that not where Chelsea kind of need to be? And Rafinha will say, look, it's not the best start in the world, but it's something.
No, you're normalising mediocrity. You're normalising finishing, what, fifth in the league? That's not acceptable for Chelsea. No, our ambition isn't to do that. We're a club whose ambition, sole ambition for the past 30 years has been to win the Premier League title. We have since then, under this ownership, not won anything significant. I feel like what we've become here is 2006 to 2020 Arsenal. You know when they used to celebrate finishing in the top four?
Yeah.
It used to be the ambition. Qualify for a tournament that you're never good enough to win. Qualify for a tournament that you're never good enough to win. Can you understand that logic?
Have you used that one?
Yeah, but what we're trying to do now is qualify for a tournament that we can't win. Our ambition is to get into the Champions League. Why? To win it? No, not to win it. So that we get the revenue of being in it, so that we can go out to Paris Saint-Germain conceding 8 goals along the way. In the way that Arsenal used to value getting into a tournament, but never really have any ambition to win. So that's what we are, and I think it's completely unacceptable, and that's why I'm really pleased to see. Have you seen this noise about the protest? Chelsea fans and Strasbourg fans linking up with one another. There is a joint protest coming, a blue co out protest coming to try and force these owners out of both Chelsea and Strasbourg.
That's not correct.
What, getting them out? I think possibly right. Like if there's enough pressure, if we can make enough noise, if we can demonstrate that it isn't working. And do you know what? As much as I want them out, I do want them out. I think that Luco, Clearlake, everything about Todd Bowley, Benared Bali, they are the worst thing to have ever happened to Chelsea Football Club. In the history of the club, this is the worst thing to have ever happened to us. But even if we can't get them out because of, I don't understand the workings of being billionaires, right? But if we can't get them out, maybe we can force them to change the model. Maybe we can force them to change the way that they're going about it.
He spent £100 million on Enzo Fernandez. £100 million on Kaseka.
Isn't there something in that, though, Jamie? Don't you think that there's something quite symbolic about the public face of this ownership? So he's your immediate go-to. And you're absolutely right. Enzo Fernandez, he's the one that you've gone to.
Yeah.
He's the one that represents this ownership and their model so perfectly. He's fallen out of love with this project. He has basically said, look, we've got a few games in the league, we've got a couple of cup games, and then I'm going to consider my future. You've got one of the public face of the ownership effectively saying that he's done with the project. What does that say about the project? What are we going to do? Buy another Jamie Gittins? Buy another Antoine Dizazi? Another Benoit Badiashile?
Good player, Badiashile.
You start with me all night.
Good player.
He's not. Do you know none of these players? You know when you think about Chelsea when I was a kid? Erland Johnson, Jakob Bjelberg, Terry Phelan, Steve Clark. They're all better than the players that we have at the moment. And that was a team that Sorry. I know I'm not meant to do that. It's so unprofessional. The whole point of not doing that, isn't it? We're meant to grow. I'm sorry, everyone.
No, we got Matt Jones for that. Sorry. It's always a nightmare when Rory does the game when Chelsea are on. It's because you literally get right amongst it.
Oh, it's Sanchez. See, there's a great example of Chelsea just like normalising mediocrity. You bring in a goalkeeper like Robert Sanchez, who hasn't been good enough to play Premier League football since we've known him. You're never winning anything with Robert Sanchez in goal. He's done his best. That's not a real competition unless you marry it up with real stuff. It's a great cherry on the
Europa Conference League.
That's not a real competition.
Well, it is. So taller than that.
Stop it. It's not.
It's
not.
Good sides in it.
There aren't. That's the point. It's a pitiful competition. But Robert Sanchez there is a great example of what Chelsea are about at the moment.
Yeah.
One of the worst goalkeepers in the league, one of the most erratic, one of the most unreliable, and one of the most likely to have a calamity within.
Yeah.
And then you've got some Chelsea fans do it. They're like, well, he hasn't let us down this year. All right, well, he has, hasn't he? Because he got sent off at Old Trafford. Made a pig's ear of it at Arsenal. Did it there, but got away with it. He's such a bad goalkeeper, but there is, I'm sure, some metric of statistic that will tell you he's a good goalkeeper and therefore he will keep his place in the team because he's got good passing range. But it don't care if he's got a good passing range, he can't catch.
Yeah, no, but Rossini's alright, mate.
No, he's not.
He writes things down. He writes things down in his little notebook. He's got a good pen.
He's just
Good pen,
he's
that
got the
boy.
pen. He's got the pen from year 8.
The ball.
He's got the pen from year 8.
Yeah,
You know, he's got the different colours on it.
Multicolour pen,
Yeah.
mate. Good pen. Good pen.
It just doesn't work, does it?
Writing things down in the 81st minute when you're 8-2 down against PSG. That's good management.
I mean, he's giving Garnacho a note. What can that note possibly say at 8-2
I
down?
know exactly what I like.
Yeah. Like, what can he possibly write on a note? That he
We
can't
are.
whisper in his ear? We are in big trouble here, Andrew. There's nothing you can do about it. It's a horrible time at the moment, but I feel like it's just going to get worse. You know, I feel like it's going to get worse. I've heard you talking to Jason Cundy. Brilliant show, by the way, Jay. I must flag. I'm absolutely loving the sports bar. I know, but I'm loving it. But Jason seems quite confident that Chelsea's still going to make it into the Champions League. I just don't know. I hope he's right, and I desperately hope I'm wrong. I just don't know what he's basing it on. I don't see anything in this Chelsea side. The only reason that we make it is maybe we limp there. Liverpool looking dodgy. Aston
What
Villa.
about Liverpool? Like, just on them, right? Because we've got a couple of calls. I'm on some more Liverpool fans. I know it was an early kickoff, but they must be fuming. You know, they get a decent result against Galatasaray. Go for it. Okay, look, build on that. You don't get beat against Brighton. It's like you're Premier League champions.
Jamie, their last 3 games: Wolverhampton Wanderers, Tottenham, and Brighton. They've taken a point.
They've lost 10 games this season.
I know. Like, you know when you go to bad day at the office for Liverpool, and I'm sort of conditioned. I think because of my age and because of like the way that I've seen Liverpool over the last sort of half decade or so, I'm kind of conditioned to believe that they're always going to get it right. So you know when somebody asks me, "Oh, how do you think Liverpool get on away at Brighton?" My natural thing is, "I don't get a result."
Yeah.
They'll dig it out. They'll find a way. They'll get there. They're not, are they? They're not going to.
I just don't see. Look, for me, I can't believe Klopp's still there. I get Liverpool don't sack managers, you know, like they'll take their time with decisions, and I understand that, and that's a good trait to have in terms of football club. But what I'm watching, I just don't see how Arne Slot turns this around and makes Liverpool a Premier League title-winning side again.
Maybe not this season.
No, but
would you show him the door then?
I would have got rid of him a month ago.
Would you?
Yeah, because you've got Alonso there, you've got Gerrard, who could have come in as interim. Get Alonso in, make the change now. You can still have a good season.
They just concede goals like
You know, and they're clinging on to it, right? Because they want to cling on to the fact that they won the title last season and he was, you know, he done well. But this season it's gone so flat. The football they play is terrible. The fans have gone.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why you want to get rid of him. Just get rid of him. There's a manager there waiting to take this job.
I feel like it will happen. What do you think? Say they get into the Champions League. Say by hook or by crook they make it into the Champions League spots. Do you think that's enough to keep his job?
I don't know.
I mean, look, the Champions League.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that keeps the job.
No, it would have to be a run in the European Cup. They'd have to have a run, and they're capable of that. Well, see, there's me demonstrating that mentality again. There's me going, well, they're capable of that. And the reason I'm saying that is because of Anfield on a European night, because I've seen what Liverpool have done in Europe, because Liverpool are our representative of the Premier League on the European stage. I'm so conditioned to believe that Liverpool are capable. But everything that we've learned from them this season, when we see Frimpong defending or Konate defending, how can I possibly say they're capable of lifting the European Cup in Budapest? What are they relying on? A Szoboszlai bit of magic. Yeah. It's basically that or nothing.
Alright, look, get your calls in. I want to hear from Liverpool fans. Get involved in the show. We'll keep you up to date there. Everton Chelsea game. EFL action as well. I want to hear from Portsmouth fans. 6-1 is not good for my old team. They're stuck down at the bottom. Leicester drew. And obviously, EFL action all over the country. Get involved. Go through 717 22 334.
Game day phone-in on TalkSport and Sky Sports. Stream the biggest Premier League games flexibly with now. Like Leeds versus Brentford live tonight. Search Now Sports, 18 plus, free via internet, terms apply.
Runs all for the job? Don't make that mistake with your van. Get up to 30% off selected new Toyota vans and pickups with a warranty and up to 10 years or 100,000 miles with every qualifying routine service. Visit your nearest Toyota centre or visit toyota.co.uk/van savings for more details. Savings on selected vans and pickups ordered by the 31st of March 2026. UK residents, see toyota.co.uk for full details.
card from the National Lottery. The banker called. He doesn't think you have what it takes to beat him. Well, forget that guy. Play me today and you could be one of millions of instant winners and show that mean old money grabber who the real big deal is.
Pick up the new Deal or No Deal scratch card in store today. Search 3 big place models apply 18+.
Chicken dip has just landed at Domino's. Succulent tenders, wings and boneless bites, but that's not all. There are 9 dips to choose from. Which begs the question, is it chicken with dips on the side or dips with chicken on the side? Dip into a world of flavour with chicken dip new from Domino's. Subject to availability.
Money Super 7, our mission continues. How are we helping people save today?
We could help people save up to £190 on their home insurance.
Good start. What else?
They could also switch their car insurance with us. We've got some great deals. How's that for a day's work?
Impressive, but it's not home time yet, Money Super 7.
See how much you could save with Money Supermarket. 51% could save up to £190. Consumer Intelligence, Buildings and Contents, January 2026, 18+ UK only.
Aqua Uniprimer is made by us, Dulux Trade.
And approved by professional painters like me and you.
It's made to get a grip on all major surfaces.
From wood to metal, tiles to UPVC, inside or out, you name it, this stuff sticks.
And it's made to be recoat ready in 60 minutes.
So we can get the job done.
Dulux Trade Aqua Uniprimer. It's made by us.
And approved by you. And me.
Put it to the test. Try Dulux Trade Aqua Uniprimer today.
With LV, I can get my car insurance from just £299. Just the price I'm after right now. And if I'm hit by an uninsured driver, I won't lose my no-claim discount, because insurance is simple when it's me and LV. No wonder we're rated excellent on Trustpilot. Get your quote today at lv.com. 10% of new customers pay £299 or less July to December 2025. Uninsured driver promise is non-fault accident only. Other vehicle and driver details required. LV General Insurance is part of Allianz.
Game day phoning. On Talk Sport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it. If your team sucks, let it blow. Game day phoning.
Okay, you're listening to the Game Day Phone on TalkSport with Gemma Hart and Rory Jennings. Let's get an update from the Hill Dickinson Stadium match.
It's still Everton 0, Chelsea 0 here, 18.5 minutes gone, but Everton are really troubling Chelsea, mainly because Chelsea are troubling themselves with some poor passing around the back. We heard that excitement from Rory a few minutes ago. That was because of a loose pass, or loose touch, I should say, by Robert Sanchez. That nearly let Beto in. And then there was a poor pass across the back four by Hato as well that allowed a shooting opportunity a few seconds later for Ghana. That one was blocked away on the line. Everton are really pressing quite high. They've had a few set pieces and Chelsea struggling to get the ball away when the ball does come into the box. But at the moment they are surviving. Everton 0, Chelsea 0.
Odds update on TalkSport with Betfair. Get a free £10 bet when you bet £10 on Hackers or Bet Builders on football this week. Odds in and previous deposit required. Minimum odds and T's and C's apply. 18+, gambleway.org.
Yeah, let's get the latest odds in that 5:30 game. All thanks to Betfair is 0-0. Everton to win is 2-1. The draw is 2-1, and Chelsea to win is 11-8. There's all thanks to Betfair 18+ gambleway.
Odds update on TalkSport with Betfair. Get a free £10 bet when you bet £10 on Hackers or Bet Builders on football this week. Odds in and previous deposit required. Minimum odds and T's and C's apply. 18+, gambleway.org.
Right, Liverpool were beaten 2-1 at Brighton. Let's hear from the manager, Arne Slot, who was asked by TalkSport whether international break has come at a good time for Liverpool.
Not at all. Unfortunately, what I've noticed till now, there's only one national team coach that decided to rest players, and that's the England national team coach, if I'm informed correctly, because I thought I saw that he does not call up a lot of players that have played a lot of games recently in Champions League and in the game.
Which as a club manager you'd admire?
Which as a club manager I admire. Unfortunately, the only country where we don't have players in the national team is England. So my players go to other national team coaches, and I wouldn't be surprised if they play them all twice or a lot, because they're very good players, and I would do it if I was a national team coach as well. Not all of them think as Tuchel is thinking, because it's probably smart of him, because it also helps him to have either available for the World Cup or in the best possible shape.
What's he on? Tuchel scored up 35 players. He just ain't picked any Liverpool ones because they've been crap.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of who would be a contender. You could argue Jones. I like Jones. I think Jones is a very good player. He's the kind of player
I think he deserves to be in a 35-man squad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like Curtis Jones is playing every week at Liverpool anyway.
No. I rate him very highly. I also think he's the kind of player that England could do with the World Cup. But him aside, you can't say that Tuchel's not calling up players or respecting players having a break or whatever. That's not what he's doing. He just hasn't picked any of your players.
Yeah.
And therefore, his decision-making chimes with you because your priority is Liverpool. No, he's misjudged that entirely, yes.
Yeah, I'm kind of, I was thinking, does it feel like he's done that? I feel like he picked 35 players.
No, Jake, when you hear him talk, when you listen to Arne Slot now, it's these kind of ramblings that make you think, is it over? Like, has the shelf life of his time at Liverpool just naturally...
What I can't get my head around, Rory, is the fact that he's won the Premier League. I feel like he's got a bit of like a loser mentality. It's always a bit of a moaner. It's always like an excuse or something that he's not happy with. He won the Premier League last season.
He is the champion at the moment.
Yeah,
he is
like
the reigning
you should
champion.
be putting your foot on everyone else.
I know.
And he just so not that.
Yeah.
Let's go to some calls. I'm going to go to Callum. He's a Liverpool fan, right, Cal?
Hi, Jerry, you alright?
I'm alright, Cal. Look, obviously the early kick-off. It's a terrible result for you.
Yeah, international break is good for to get in stats, really. This is a good opportunity for us.
So what you saying now?
Back in now, get Alonso in. The board is thinking, believing that we're going to beat PSG or something, or Man City in the FA Cup final. What are they waiting for? To be, humiliated like Chelsea, 8-2, maybe 9-2 by PSG, and then what's going to happen then? And these pundits like David Carragher or your mate Jermaine Dupont, they're not calling for the manager's head because I don't know why. All of this falls on the manager's head. So lethargic. I think there's been a rumor that he's got personal problem with Jamie, what's his name, Curtis Jones. So that's why he's not playing. Yeah, that's why he's not playing him instead of McAllister. McAllister has been so lethargic this season, and he's been out.
Yeah, the whole team's been flat though.
Yeah,
the whole team.
And that applies on the manager. That only on the 100% on the manager. And these excuses he's just coming up with, it's just so lame.
Oof. Higman. You caught me off guard there. What are we on about in Barney? What relevance does that have to anyone?
I don't know what to do. Maybe we should try to do huddle like Chelsea do. Or like
you're not respecting the ball. You're not respecting the ball.
You must say, if we're doing the ball, his head is particularly shy. I do understand why you went there. Like, you know, if you compared it to Guardiola, it feels like it's got more of a sort of like matte finish Guardiola. It's like less shiny.
Yeah, it's good.
I like the matte finish. If I were to have a bald head, I think the matte finish of Guardiola.
Very, very fresh.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, can we do a roster check on Jason Cundy because of that stalker? I mean, is he alright? Has he been tied up?
He's chasing him on the bridge, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's at Stamford Bridge now, so I think he's alright.
I've seen him miserable.
Callum, listen, thanks for your call. Let's go to Moaning Mo, the Liverpool fan. Moaning?
Yeah, right.
Alright, Moaning, how are you?
I'm good. I remember months ago I called on Rory's show and he said, I told him we won't make top four. And he said, no, it's preposterous. We will make top four. I told you so, Mr. Jennings. I told you we will never ever make top four. I want to extend that statement now. We're not even going to make Europe this season. I'm absolutely livid. That was one of the worst football performances I have seen those players perform in the last decade. Absolutely horrific. And stop blaming just the manager. Why don't you blame the players? Salah washed, he got 400 grand. Van Dijk washed. How much is he on? 250 grand? Canate's washed. The players.
What's the answer then, Mike? How do you turn it round?
Yeah.
Who do you bring in? How do you get back on track?
Get Alonso and sell most of these tragic players. Get them out. Sell Bert. Take the losses.
Come on, mate. What do you mean sell Bert? What are you on about, Mo?
Yeah, cut your losses early.
You're not going to get rid of Bert, are you?
We're wasting money. He's horrific. He's a horrific signing. He's so bad at football. He is so bad because you don't watch Liverpool games. You don't watch Liverpool games.
Yeah, I watch it. He's playing in a side. He's playing in a side where it's just none of it's working. It's flat.
Yeah, but that's partially his fault. But what are you going to say? Oh, he's 22, he's young, give him time.
Surely,
Time, Mo.
Mo, I will concede. When you
He's
did
not
call me out,
300 grand.
Mo, do you know what? When you did call me out, I remember the call when you said that you wouldn't make top four. You're right, I said it was preposterous. I thought you'd make it. So I concede that you were correct on that. But I also maintain that you're incorrect on that. You can't get rid of that.
Next season, you'll say, no, I just can't buy a staple last year. You're right.
It sounds more like me than me. It's kind of throwing me. I want to have an argument with you, but you do such a good impression of me that it's very difficult.
Oh, so you're going to slap those? Would you get rid of him in the international break and get Alonso in if you can?
Perfect.
That's it, done. See you later.
Yeah, and then sack most of the players as well.
I kind of think that whatever's going wrong at Liverpool, do we not need to extend a courtesy to Arne Slot? He's won the league.
No, there's no. The game moves on. Seasons move on. Well done. Handshake. Great job, but you're not the guy.
But he's a champion. You know when you talk about Xabi Alonso,
But he doesn't act like a champion. He doesn't act like a champion. When you see his interviews and you see the way his team sets up, the way they play, it's all, you have
to be very careful getting rid of managers.
They are champions.
But you have to also be very careful getting rid of managers that have won a league for managers that haven't. It's a punt. What we know about Arne Slot, this is a guarantee. Arne Slot knows how to win a league title. We don't know for a fact that Xabi Alonso does. And for that I'll be careful. I remember that Chelsea have done this in the past. We got rid of Mourinho because we had a couple of dodgy results. We got rid of Mourinho. We drew 1-1 with Rosenborg and decided to get rid of Mourinho. If we didn't do that, we would have had a dynasty. We would have won maybe 3 leagues in a row. We would have won a European Cup under Mourinho. It would have been different. But we pulled the trigger quickly and we sacked the champion. It didn't go well. Manchester United won 3 in a row. I think you've got to be very careful when you sack.
Would you sack Arne Slot?
I feel like it's going slow. I do admit that it's going south, and I admit that a lot of what Mo said there was correct. But I just think that you really have to be careful. And is Xabi Alonso the answer?
What?
Were you particularly impressed with what happened with him at Real Madrid?
No, I wasn't.
This is it.
I was at Leverkusen.
Yeah, agreed. But Arne Slot won the league. He is the existing champion. Maybe simply because he won the league last year, maybe he gets the opportunity to have one more summer and put it right. You could certainly argue that that's the case.
I don't know if Liverpool's too happy with that. Keep calls coming in. Got the latest score as well. Talksport 2, Swansea 0, Coventry 2. Get up there, Frank. Yeah, moving 9 points clear at the top of the table. We'll get to Matt Jones as well just after the break on the Everton-Chelsea game. That's 0-0 as well. 03 717 22 33 44.
Game day phone in on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
It's the last chance to get yourself a ticket for tonight's Lotto draw.
It could be you.
Lotto from the National Lottery. Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
Aqua Uniprimer is made by us, Dulux Trade.
And approved by professional painters like me and you.
It's made to get a grip on all major surfaces.
From wood to metal, tiles to UPVC, inside or out, you name it, this stuff sticks.
And it's made to be recoat ready in 60 minutes.
So we can get the job done.
Dulux Trade Aqua Uniprimer. It's made by us.
And approved by you. And me.
Put it to the test. Try Dulux Trade Aqua Uniprimer today.
If you're planning an escape from the city, a regular catch-up with friends, or even a night social, why not go for a day at the races? With 59 racecourses across the UK, you can enjoy racing all year round. For world-famous